everybody. Welcome to the Dad Whisperer. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Watson, and I'm so looking forward to our conversation. You guys can tell I'm a little bit wired to have enthusiasm and excitement. Yes, sometimes I've been called perky, and I don't always think that's a compliment. But the truth is, when I'm passionate about something, you can hear it in my voice, right? Well, this whole idea of partnering with God as a Father, with Jesus, with the Holy Spirit, to bring the heart of God into real practical terms so that dads can say, I get to be a conduit of God's love to my kids. I'm telling you, there is nothing that excites me more than that, and I'm not kidding you. I've been spending the last 7 years traveling from my planet Venus to Mars. I know you guys are Martians, right? You live on Mars. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. And helping to decode what we as girls need so that you dads can better dial into the heart space of your daughters. Because the truth is, I want to help you as dads become heroes that you want to be and that your daughter needs you to be. Well, it doesn't surprise you. You haven't forgotten, I know you know this, that tomorrow is Valentine's Day. I know, didn't come as a surprise, but I want to give you ideas today about how to better dial into the heart space of your daughter. Now, again, this applies to your wives. You can transfer it to your boys as well. But romance and royalty, those two concepts, last week was royalty, today is romance, really tie to the theme of Valentine's Day. And I want you guys, I'm picturing you right now, like standing side by side. That's the on your mark, get set, go. Getting ready to run your fathering race this week. You're comrades, you are allies with each other, and I'm your coach cheering you on. So I'm saying, oh, wait, okay, turn that way just a little bit. And I think you're going to zero into her heart space with a little more precision. And then when you get it right, I love it. You guys are like, because it brings you joy to see your girls happy. Every man I know says, I do way better when the women in my life are happy. Well, hello, that's why we're having these conversations, so that every week you have one go step, one concept to take into that week. And the good news is you can go to my website, drmichellewatson.com, and re-listen to anything you want to listen to. I got MP3s on there. And a new addition is that I have podcasts. So now you can sign up to, get those on iTunes and they'll come right to you. You can listen to them if you aren't able to listen to them at 2:30 on Monday afternoons, or 7:30 on AM 800, which is a new addition this year in 2017 on the AM True Talk 800 station. So I'm really excited that I have 2 times a week that you can catch this live, or you can go to my website. So win-win, wouldn't you say? Well, okay, as we head into Valentine's Day tomorrow, head in, that sounds a little bit like it's a burden to bear, doesn't it? Well, maybe it is for you, feels like a weight. But dads, I am telling you, if you can capitalize on this holiday tomorrow, your daughter will never, ever forget it. So today's broadcast is titled, What Romance Means to Your Daughter. What romance means to your daughter. And I've interviewed girls. I'm going to share a little bit about myself. And you can ask your daughter questions. What does romance mean to you? Or take a spin off of last week's. What does royalty mean to you? What does being a warrior princess mean to you? So I haven't done a 2-part series before. This is the first one. So it's kind of fun to be able to reference last week and talk about this week. Well, you guys remember I have my dad here in the studio. In December, we talked about Perfume Day, and I'm going to have my dad on here this year where we're going to talk about how we've often butted heads. I don't want you guys to think like we always get along. No, we've had challenges galore as well, because I'm a little bit strong-willed. Yeah. That's where, if any of you want to talk about that, we probably do need to do a show on that topic. But the truth is, we keep navigating it just like you are with your girls. And one of the things that I can tell you that has meant so much to me through the years is that my dad has treated me special at Valentine's Day. And I'm his only single daughter of 4, and I'm the oldest. And that's been a really hard one to really navigate. And my dad has kicked it up a notch and affirmed me during Valentine's week or around that day by making me cards. You heard me and my dad talk about that in December, but I'm holding it in my hand. This is one that my dad wrote me in 2013, and he gets a template online. You can just Google free templates for cards, or you sometimes have to buy the software, but he pulls one off. So it has, pulls a card off of there, puts it on his desktop, and then, makes it fit for me. So you can adapt anything. Here's this card. So you can tell it's a template that was already made, and it's of a computer screen with a hand on a little mouse, and it has a little mouse. Actually, the mouse is a mouse, the animal of a mouse. And it says, "Dearest Michelle, a little mouse told us it's Valentine's Day." Then you open it and it says, "So Mom and I just wanted to ask you to be our Valentine. Would you? Question mark, question mark, question mark. We love you so, Mom and Dad." And then he has a picture of me. And then on the back, they both wrote it. And then it says at the bottom on the back, "Created especially for our precious Michelle on Valentine's Day, 2013. Now, as you heard, there's not a lot of words on it, but the words that are on there, look at, I've saved this for 4 years. It has so much value to me that I can read it back. And I'm saying, dads, the way you can connect with the heart space of your daughter and draw it out, because we as daughters do very well when we're living from our heart and not from our hurt. So when our heart is out front and we're loving well, we're open, we're radiantly, living from the core of who we are because our heart isn't shut down and blocked off, we thrive. And I know that you dads love watching when your girls are thriving. Well, you're a part of helping to shield her heart, protect her heart from influences that would lead her, to shut it down. But don't be the reason she shuts it down. So the way that you can help her stay connected to your heart, which opens your heart too. Every dad goes, when her heart's open, my heart is open, is romance her, quote unquote. I'm not talking about creepy. Like some dads might go, that is really weird. I do that with my wife or my girlfriend, but not a daughter. You guys, I want to help shape that and change that hopefully today, that we need your heart connection now at whatever age we are, in adolescence or young adulthood, just like we did when you were little. And here I am in my 50s going, it still matters to me now. Your daughters are never too old to have you connect with them and draw that heart space, heart needs out of them. Ask them, what could I do to help build in or draw out from you what romance means to you? How can I draw that out? Tell me more. What engages your heart? So it probably doesn't surprise you to know that our culture is obsessed with this concept of romance. I mean, The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, you guys, I looked up statistics. Nielsen ratings say that among young adults 18 to 49 years old, there's 9.5 million viewers a week. That is 35% of our population is obsessed with this concept of romance vicariously through someone else on television. It's something like in its 20th year or something like that. Nuts. I mean, the other thing is, did you know that romance and erotica novels are the highest selling books in America? Over horror, science fiction and fantasy, mystery, and religious books. In fact, I did some research this week. An estimated total sales of romance in 2014, according to BookStats, is $1.44 billion. Who's the romance buyer? I looked it up. 84% are female. I mean, that doesn't surprise you, but I want you to hear that what I'm saying today is backed up in the research. And according to Nielsen BookScan's data, romance novel readers are overwhelmingly young, white, and female. Now, I know that may sound a little bit biased towards Caucasian ethnicity, and I know it isn't. This is a universal theme among women, that romance draws them. So I figure, okay, if this is a theme, how can a dad of a daughter help fan into flame her connecting to her heart space? Well, even last year, my dad came over, my mom and dad. My dad took me and my mom to a movie, to dinner, brought flowers and a card. I'm telling ya, it felt so good to my heart to be treated that special, to be treated valuable. And even dad, if you have a blocked off connection with your daughter, you can give her a card and you can drop flowers at her door. If she doesn't want to talk with you, you can still invest in the heart space of her daughter that way, of your daughter that way. So here's the deal about romance is I think oftentimes why girls get so obsessed with each other's love lives. They want to hear every detail. Sometimes you dads are like, oh my goodness, she's been texting for 2 hours on that boy. There's something again about romance that we think if we can't have it, we're going to vicariously live through someone else's romance. But here's what I want you to hear, dads. is underneath all of that, there's one word. This could be the theme, really honestly, the subtitle of this conversation today. What does it mean, to romance your daughter? And now we're into the get set part of the program where I'm breaking that down so you can understand it. Here's one word I want you to take from today. It's the word chosen. As I have interviewed and interacted with girls 13 to 30, that word comes up all the time. Chosen. She's chosen. Think of The Bachelorette, The Bachelor, either one. By the end, will you accept this rose? Is that one last girl that's chosen by the, quote, handsome prince gets to be his bride. It is a big deal in our country. I know girls that have bachelor and bachelorette parties every week, and they watch that together. Because we as girls, there's a longing to want to be chosen above all the rest. So here, dads, you, as you understand what she needs, can help connect with that deepest place inside of her that's longing to be the one, longing to be connected. You can do that by, quote, romancing. And again, it's a dance between maybe I invented a new word, between a dad and a daughter that engages her heart. Does that make sense? Well, I just want to pause for a minute and say, if you're just joining this episode, this program, I'm Dr. Michelle Watson. This is the Dad Whisperer, where my desire is to help you as a dad become a hero. And if you want to write me, just let me know questions you have or ways that you're putting your love into action with your daughters and sons to me at drmichelle@thedadwhisperer.com. And on my website, drmichellewatson.com, I have free resources, a link to Amazon where you can buy my book if you want to put more of your love into action with questionnaires in the back and take your daughter on dates. It's written out there. You can read more about the ABBA Project if you live here in the Portland area and want to be a part of that. Every fall, I start a new dads group for dads of daughters who are ages 13 to 30. The girls, not the dads. And I also have a new thing on there, which is podcasts. If you're not able to listen to this on KPDQ on Mondays at 2:30 or AM 800 True Talk at 7:30 on Saturday nights, you can either listen to the audio on my website or you now can get podcasts and subscribe on iTunes. Win-win, right? Okay, well, let's get back to this theme of royalty. Romance. Royalty was last week, and these two themes go together. I think that's why I just said that right there, because to me, they're inseparable concepts. They really go together. So when your daughter really can't wipe the smile off her face when she's happy because that guy likes her and she likes him back, it's something to her that announces to the world that she is worth pursuing. It's that word chosen. She was chosen above the rest. And you guys, I was one of those girls that did not have a lot of boyfriends. My sister, that's 2 years younger, had them from second grade on. It was so hard on me. I'm not going to lie. I'd be like, what is wrong with me that no guys like me? High school, I only had one boyfriend. But here's my sister, Jenny, that from the time she was in second grade, literally, I still remember this boy named Tommy calling my dad, and my sister was in second grade, and he goes, my dad's like, no, you can't talk to Jenny. And he's like, can I give her a message? And he goes, can you just tell her I love her? Second grade, I'm like, okay, it was cute and silly then. But you guys, beginning years of high school, no boys were calling my house going, can you just tell Michelle I love her? And I'm like, why? My friends have boyfriends. What is wrong with me? Do you see why your daughter needs you, dads, to say, honey, nothing is wrong with you. The right one, that's my dad used to say, hasn't come along yet, or whatever. And I know, bless my dad's heart, he was always trying to affirm me. I still remember that when I was in my, early 20s, and I was living at home after college, and I'd gained about 50 pounds. I had an eating disorder, binge eating disorder. I was really, even though I was doing youth ministry and music ministry and loving that, those have been my two passions, a lot of my life, music and youth, is on the inside, here I am, feeling like a scab because no boys like me. Isn't that amazing? I could do ministry and love God using me, but deep inside, I went, why don't guys like me? And that always coupled up with what's wrong with me. And my dad, bless his heart, he would say, I know he was trying as a Martian, and I give him props for that, but he would say, honey, you have so much to offer, And if you just drop 20, the guys will be lining up at your door. Okay, Dad, I'll give you props for trying. But you guys know how I interpreted that as, but I'm still too fat. See, it's the package that I come in is a detriment. The picture frame doesn't have any guy want to look at the picture. And so even though my dad was trying, because that was the era in the early 80s where we did more stuff as a family. It wasn't like Dad even thought to just spend one-on-one time with me or hear what was going on. And I'm saying, dads, that one-on-one time individually with your daughters will yield dividends long beyond the investment of time right now, even though you're crazy busy. Set aside time one-on-one to say, you matter. And even though the idea of romance may not come up or it's an unconscious deposit into her heart, she gets to say, you're choosing me right now. I matter to you to sacrifice time. You're paying for me. You're being chivalrous. Be funny and go, wait, hold on. I'm going to come open your door and make it funny and goofy. She might go, Dad, I can open it myself. I know. I'm just showing you how a guy should treat you. Because here's the deal. Your daughter needs to know from you, Dad, that she's worth pursuing and that you're choosing her because she wants to be wanted, desired, liked, pursued, enjoyed, accepted, loved, special, and chosen. I can tell you honestly, in my 35 plus years of walking alongside teenage girls and 20-somethings, I have never heard one say, unless she's struggling with some sexuality or that kind of thing. But I would say the majority of them say, I want a boyfriend. And many of them compromise their standards just to go with that one. Like they'll let him put her down. I mean, honestly, you dads would literally tear up if I told you some of the ways that maybe even your daughters or ones that I've known have let guys treat them that has broken the hearts often of dads when they hear. Because it's not with respect. It's with violation, it's with dominance, it's verbal abuse, sexual domination. There's a lot of girls compromising because if they don't know what it's like to feel good, to be treated with respect, they're going to go looking for love in all the wrong places. And so you want them to go right to you to say, I don't have to go look elsewhere because my dad treats me right. And that lets her wait longer for a good one. You know what I mean? So I asked some girls, 13 to 30, if you're okay sharing, what does romance look like to you? Here's what some of them said. To me, romance looks like a man who pays attention to me. He listens to me when I talk, and he willingly gives me attention. He notices what I like, and he does nice things for me, and he surprises me. Okay, literally, I could stop there and go, dads, if you just did those things that this one woman said, you would hit it out of the ballpark. Or using my race analogy, you would run around the track and you would win first prize. Pay attention, listen when I talk. Okay, you guys know, because you were a teenager or a 20-something guy once, guys at that age will listen to her talk, sometimes because he has another agenda, right? Uh-huh. So when you take time to listen to her talk, you are giving her a gift that speaks to her heart. Look she said he willingly pays attention to me. Did you catch that? If you're always too busy for her and put work or ministry ahead of her, you guys, she is vulnerable prey. Okay, say that 10 times. Vulnerable prey for the bad dudes. She says, notice what she likes. That's what this girl said. Do nice things for her and surprise her. Ah, pretty good input, wouldn't you say? Another one said, well, what romance means to me is that you can be as honest as you can, even if your wishes seem out of the realm of possibility. Another one says, it means that he's courteous. Romance, she said could be dad, could be the guy, holding doors open, paying for the tab, wanting to spend time with me, wanting to get to know me, likes me for who I am. So remember, dads, she's in process, but so are you. Remember back when you were in high school, set your expectations of what you expect from her equal to where her age is at. And that's where, honestly, it's going to benefit you to listen to the women in your life, whether it's your wife or if you're divorced or a single father. Ask your sisters, what do you think is appropriate? Am I being too hard on her? Because you're going to shut down her heart. We're talking about romance is what opens a daughter's heart. You can keep her heart open by your age-appropriate expectations. Ask your sisters, your coworkers, your moms, am I being too hard? You don't want to come down too hard on her, which we know Ephesians 6 says in the Message Bible. Dads, don't exasperate your children by coming down too hard on them. Take them by the hand. So you want to take her by the hand. That is a romance piece. This is how Valentine's Day can be awesome for you. So what do our female hearts long for? It's to be loved unconditionally and to love unconditionally. So when we're loved unconditionally, where you say, you know what? Yeah, you made a bad choice, but I still choose you. See, chosen, chosen, chosen. That's the word of the day. Say it after me. Say it out loud right now. Chosen, chosen, chosen. Your daughter wants to be chosen. So you get to repeatedly say to her, I'm so thankful God chose you to be my daughter and me to be your dad. Every day, I'm choosing you again. I'm choosing to spend time. I'm choosing to value you. And I am telling you, she will give out from that deposit. She will give out because she's not at a deficit. What do our female hearts long for? To be nurtured, to be cared for, and to nurture and care for. See, we long to be loved. We long to nurture and care. We long to be beautiful inside and out. We long to be enough. So I asked daughters, okay, if your dad was to fill up your love tank by making you feel loved and special and accepted and enjoyed, what could he do specifically to make you feel those things right now in your life? Okay, so dads, you know that I always give you an action step, right? And I'm prepping for the go. Just got a few minutes left. I want you to listen to what these daughters said would have value to them from their dads and choose one of them this week between today on Monday and next week to put into action, or whenever you're listening to this, put it into action between today and a week from now. One daughter said, what my dad could do to make me feel more loved, special, accepted, and enjoyed is laugh out loud more. That surprised me. Laugh out loud more. And she's saying, my dad's so serious all the time. He comes home from work and he's heavy. Sometimes daughters say, my dad is struggling with depression, or my parents are divorced and my dad's so sad. And these daughters said, I want my dad to laugh out loud more with me. And she went on to say, he has so much stress and I try to make him laugh. She said, he might smile when he laughs, and that makes me feel special. So she wants to see you laugh, but help her laugh. Go to funny movies. Make jokes, get a joke book, bring jokes home and do them around the table. Even if they're silly, get laughter going again. Another daughter said, my dad could make me feel special by not worrying about what other people think. She said, when I say something that's totally me, which usually means I didn't think first, she said, don't scoff at me. She said, that's what would make me feel better, is if my dad would let me know that being me is enough. Okay, I went on. I asked more daughters, okay, how could you feel more loved and accepted and valued by your dad? By your dad. One said, encourage my dreams, no matter how outlandish they are, and even if the dream doesn't seem realistic, encourage me with them. Another one said, to hear him say that I'm beautiful. Now, did you catch the word? A lot of dads that I've spoken with say, I tell my wife she's beautiful, but I tell my daughter she's cute or pretty. She said, beautiful has impact. Another daughter said, I would love for my dad to open up about his life in an honest way. Does that surprise you? Because it does me. She said, that would make me feel special to have my dad open up more about his life. Another one said, talk to me and encourage me to seek my passions without dampening the vision with too much practicality. Okay, I applaud that one. That is awesome. Dads are like, nope, let's think practically. That's too much money. Why don't you say, I know you want to do that, or go to Europe, or do a, missions trip, whether it's, with some international organization or World Vision or your church or whatever, or your school. Let's dream towards that. Let's pray together every day, or send out a letter and see who might want to support you. Support her dreams. Another daughter said, my dad would make me feel special by verbally expressing what he thinks of me. Another one said, accepting me completely as I am. And the last one I'm going to tell you said, send a little letter or a note or a message saying you love me, that I'm special, that you accept me, and that you enjoy me just for who I am. So dad, as you go out this week Tomorrow's Valentine's Day, but we as girls, we think every day is Valentine's Day, I'll tell you honestly. But for starters, treat her the way you want her to be treated by a guy, by a male boss if she has that, by male coworkers, by friends. Treat her the way you want to be treated. Because remember, the best defense is a good offense. You know that. Let her know what it feels like to be chosen by you with your time, with your money. Because the truth is, she's a daughter of the king. And like 1 Peter 2:9 says, we are a chosen people, a royal priesthood. Ephesians 1:4 says, God chose us before the foundation of the world. So you are partnering with Almighty God as you choose time wisely to pursue your daughter's hearts. So Dad, thanks for choosing the Dad Whisperer to listen to today. It's my joy to partner with you as you champion the heart of your daughter, romance her by opening her heart this week, by the way you treat her with respect, with value, with dignity to affirm her worth. Happy Valentine's Day, and go Dads.